What's going on, guys? You are on the sidelines with the Sideline guys. I'm Derrick, and I'm being joined again with a returning Shaq. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, brother?
How you doing, man?
Just enjoying this beautiful day, man. Sky's blue, no clouds.
Yes,
Just,
sir.
loving the day off finally.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's been a very interesting time in sports, but before we get into all that, let me get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way first. Um, before I forget, we are this episode is being brought to you by Champ Number One Boxers. This the It's a black owned company, and it's a brand of underwear that, to be completely honest, is the best I've ever worn. So if you guys want to get a chance to try it out for men and women, it's a great thing for you guys to work out in or just wear around every day. Check it out, Champ Number One Boxers. Go to the link in our bio, all social media platforms, and you can help us out. You can help two black owned businesses just with one purchase. So go check them out. Great brand. And I wouldn't even be promoting them if I didn't feel that way. They are comfortable, most comfortable pair I've worn, and their slides are really nice as well. And shirts. So yeah, go check them out. See what you guys want on there, and get something for champion your life. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe, notification bell, and the like button. Let us know what you guys think about the show and all the other shows that are underneath the brand as well. It help us out with a lot of things in terms of being able to start ranking up and getting more getting notified. Getting noticed more on the platform. So if you could just subscribe to the channel, like, and hit the notification bell, you guys get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Also, subscribe to any of the shows on any podcast platform that you listen to. But let's go ahead and get started, bro. We've got tonight, we have the Eastern Conference Finals matchup beginning.
Third.
And I believe it's the Western Conference Finals as well tonight, right?
I think they both start tonight.
Starts tonight, yeah. So we have Golden State versus Dallas in the West, and Boston versus Miami in the East. What are your thoughts on those matchups to begin with?
I'll start with the Western Conference. I feel like that's a little bit easier to break down.
Okay.
Overall, I think Golden State will have too much firepower for Dallas to contend with. They do have some solid wing defenders, but just that three-headed monster, Clay, Steph, and Jordan Poole. We're not even including Draymond in that just yet. And then you throw in Draymond, obviously, what he provides to the team in terms of playmaking ability, defensive toughness. He's going to guard Luka. He's going to be there. If he has to meet Luka 90 feet, he's going to meet Luka 90 feet. Mm-hmm. So that in and of itself, I said I'll be nice about it and say Golden State is 6, just because the Mavs bench players play really well at home. They come alive. And but I think consistency is going to be the key. If Dallas wants any chance of beating Golden State, they need consistency, not just from Luka, because Luka is going to give you 25, 10, and 6. Right. You're going to get that on a consistent basis from him. But it's what the Spencer Dinwiddie's of the world, Dorian Finney-Smiths of the world, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell, those guys. Jalen Brunson's been balling, by the way.
Right.
But he's gonna get a max contract. I don't know if it's Dallas or who, but he's getting a max contract after this season. He's showing everybody that he wants the money. Now, will he prove that he's worth the money after he gets the money? That's still to be seen. But that's a bright spot for them. But if they can consistently shoot like how they did against Phoenix in Game 7 and Game 6, we might have a series.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I still think Golden State comes out on top in the West.
Yeah. What did you think about Dallas actually beating Phoenix? Because honestly, this wasn't even the matchup that any of us really saw coming, right? Like beginning of the season, I thought Phoenix, Golden State, for sure, Western Conference Finals.
Definitely.
It's the only one that made sense to me. So how do you feel about Dallas actually getting by them?
I'm a little salty because I wanted Chris Paul to go back to the NBA Finals because I think had Phoenix got to the NBA Finals I didn't think anybody matched up with them, except the Bucks. But obviously, the Bucks being out made way. I was like, oh, please, like
Mm.
this. It doesn't matter who it is, but yeah, nobody expected that type of performance at home from the entire team. You know,
Yeah,
Devin Booker 11 points on like 20-some% shooting. Chris Paul 10 points, and then those are the only two in double figures for the entire team.
yeah, yeah,
It's disappointing. I mean, you can't show up or not show up to Game 7 on your home court. It's one thing if they were in Dallas and they had that type of performance. I get it. Opposing fans, everybody's heckling you.
mm-hmm.
You're at home. You
Yeah,
slept in your bed the night before.
yeah,
You went to your restaurant and had dinner. You feel me? Or you
yeah,
had your chef come to your crib and make your food. You
yeah.
were with your family. You had your peace. And then you show up to your home gym and you got waxed like that.
That was
You weren't even
horrible.
there.
Yeah,
27 points in the first half. Not first quarter, first half, bro.
yeah.
I don't even know what to call that shit. I couldn't
Disgusting.
believe it, bro.
It's
Yo,
disgusting. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like I turned the game off after like the first 10 minutes of the game. And I never do that. Never.
yeah, yeah.
I couldn't watch it. It was bad. From turnovers to bad shots taking,
Mm-hmm.
no real defense. Luka was just running through the middle and just dunking it like it was nothing. And that's not even his game.
Right, right. And the weird part about it is it had nothing to do with officiating.
No.
Like you can't
They
blame
just played
officiating.
bad.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
literally just played bad.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I think there was a slight overreaction, though. You know, I know everybody's talking about Patrick Beverly,
yeah.
all his comments. I think that
Definitely.
was a slight overreaction. Um, Obviously, there's some type of animosity between him and Chris Paul. Maybe he's salty. Chris Paul dropped 41 on him in a closeout game last season. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's just a hater. I don't know.
Yeah,
But last time I checked, Chris Paul owns Patrick Beverly every time they play against each other. You
yeah.
know, and granted, everybody's gonna have a bad game, but you expect your general to be there. Everybody else can have a bad game, not him.
Right,
That's
right.
my opinion on it. However, I'm not gonna hold it against him because at the end of the day, his track record speaks for itself.
It does. It does.
Every team he's been on has been significantly better.
Yeah, I think like I didn't have Phoenix in the finals, to be completely honest. My preseason pick was Golden State, Boston, in the finals. Um, didn't look like that mid-season, but I still stuck with that because
Hey,
that's just what it
it's
was.
looking like a good call.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that the one of the main reasons why I was saying Phoenix wasn't going to go back was because Golden State just looked ferocious. Like, you know, and we still don't know if Gary Payton is coming back for this round, but it's very possible he can. So I'm interested to see what happens with them. Um, but yeah, Dallas is gonna have Dallas is basically playing like house money because they shouldn't be
Yeah,
this far. They should
no,
not be this far. You know, and I mean, salute to Luca and everything like that, but they really shouldn't be. And I think what you're seeing with Spencer Dinwiddie, this is the reason why, and I keep saying this, but this is the reason why I don't understand why Brooklyn let him go. When they
oh
let him walk, that I was so confused because it didn't make any sense. You have to keep him. You have to keep him. You have to keep Karis LeVert. You have to keep Jared Allen. Like that was their best team that they've
yeah,
had. You know, so um, Dinwiddie is shaping to be one of those guys that looks like he's going to be able to carve a nice space for himself in Dallas. I don't know what they will do in terms of the offseason of adding anyone, but they look like they have a bright future there. So I think I might say Golden State in 6 as well. Um,
they'll
but
make a series of it for a little bit,
yeah,
but that's pretty much it.
yeah, yeah. I think now it'll be interesting. I don't think this is going to happen, but if Kleber actually like starts lighting up his matchup, I think they could because they're a little bit bigger. They're a little bit big. Like Golden State is a small team, right?
Yeah,
So I think that if they figure out somehow, some way, because Jason Kidd's been doing a phenomenal job with his matchups, man. phenomenal job with his lineups. Um, if they can figure something out, is it possible they could beat Golden State? Yeah, but likely no.
It's a long shot,
Yeah.
but I think the real wild card for Dallas would be Bertans because
That's true. I forgot he was.
his shooting in games 5 and 6
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry, games 3, 4, and 6. His shooting is what really put Dallas over the top because I
Yeah.
think he had combined, I want to say like 8 to 12 threes in those 3 games combined. So it's like,
yeah,
if you're going to get that from a big, now you're spreading Golden State's defense out even more.
right.
And no Gary Payton is a big loss as far as defense is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the flip of that, a piece for Golden State that could be integral to this would be Otto Porter.
Oh yeah, he is out, isn't he?
He hasn't been playing as much just because matchup wise he didn't fit against Memphis unless it was a blowout.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about another wing, 6'9" dude, pretty long, you know what I'm saying, defensively. That's another body you could throw at Luka potentially. You could throw that at Bertans. Height-wise, it's probably like an inch or two difference between them, but physicality-wise, he'll be right there.
Right.
So that's taking away the opening for him and Kleba.
Mm-hmm.
And now Draymond doesn't have to focus about them. Draymond can focus on Luka because we know that's who's going to guard Luka.
Yeah.
Or Clay.
Or Clay.
I'd probably go Draymond because Luka doesn't like physical play.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. But I mean, the mix between the two is just that defensively. That's just gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice to have. So I mean, I don't know. This could be a very interesting series. I personally don't think it's gonna be hard for Golden State to get out of it. But I think if like you said, if Bertans can do something, this could definitely be a long series.
Yeah. It's the role players because we know what the stars are gonna do.
Yeah.
Dallas has more role players than star players, and Golden State has more star players than role players.
Right.
So we know what Golden State star players are gonna do. We know what Dallas star players are gonna do. What we don't know is what the role players are gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be a role player series for sure.
Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting. But real quick while we're in the West, what do you think about Deandre Ayton's future?
You know, it was so funny. I was actually having that conversation with somebody yesterday, and they just happened to be a Wizards fan. So they were talking about maybe potentially flipping Porzingis into Ayton and then giving Ayton that max contract because we know he's still on his rookie deal. Yeah. He's going to be up for an extension. So he's in the last year of he's going into the last year of his rookie deal, I believe, going into 2023 that season. And they could offer him the max. I don't know what the salary cap is looking like for them because they gave Chris Paul the money. But what I did say was if he's patient, lets the year play out, that's the end of Chris Paul's contract. That money comes off the books if he doesn't re-sign. Now he can get all the money he wants, and then it could go back to being a tandem between him and Devin Booker, with obviously implementing all the pick and roll, pick and pop things that Chris Paul had.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Paul rides off into the sunset. Maybe he signs with another team and tries to get a championship. Maybe he retires.
Right.
I don't know, but that could potentially be a thing for him. However, if he's not really feeling it out in Phoenix, I could think of a lot of teams that need a big man of his caliber, of his age on top of that. Yep. Because he's already an all-star caliber player, potential superstar in the league, and he's 23, 24 maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe younger than that. I don't know. But so who knows? But I think if he leaves, I have a feeling he could potentially go somewhere out east. I don't think he'll stay at the West.
And I will take him in Boston with open arms. With open arms. I would love that. I think he would be great. But I mean, another team that would make sense is also Golden State. Golden State needs a big. They can't keep playing this small ball, especially with Draymond getting older, right? And Wiseman, we don't know. mean, I know it's a health issue for him right now, but if he's not able to round out into shape, he's not going to be what you drafted him to be. So they have to figure something out in the next year with that position.
Definitely.
You can't keep playing small the older you get.
No, it doesn't matter how much better your young guys have gotten. They're not going to be Steph, Clay, and Dre. And
Right.
Steph, Clay, and Dre aren't going to be there forever.
Right.
So that's interesting. I actually didn't think about that.
Yeah, because I know that some people were saying that Rudy Gobert was someone that they were probably going to target as well. But if you could choose between Rudy and DeAndre, who are you taking? Truthfully,
I'm gonna throw Rudy in the trash, bro. I don't want Rudy nowhere near my team, bro.
Yeah.
I get it. Defensive Player of the Year honors, I got it. All NBA defensive, you got it, bro. I get it. But I'm sorry, on a team like Golden State, you don't fit. You don't fit. Golden State is a high-powered offense.
Yeah.
High-powered offense. Bro, you have no post moves. You have nothing. All you could do is catch a lob.
Yeah.
I get it. That'd be cool if you went to like a Phoenix. Yeah, we don't need you to post up.
Yeah.
Run all day. You got Devin Booker. You got Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges. They'll throw you lobs all day. Cool. Mm-hmm. Not Golden State.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
He'll stand in the middle. He'll clog up the paint. He's going to make it harder for the team to move around, in my opinion, just because he's going to suck the defense. He's not even going to suck the defense in because he's not going to be active enough for that.
Yeah, you got to be mobile in that offense.
Exactly. He just stands in the paint. Yeah. So if you're going to just stand in the paint, you make it easier for the other four guys to guard people.
Mm-hmm.
There's no switching.
And he's like, honestly, I almost feel like he's kind of easy to defend anyway. So like, there's really no sense in going that route. But DeAndre Ayton would make sense for them.
Yeah,
he would make a ton of sense for them. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's gonna be interesting.
He can shoot the mid range.
Yeah,
he can step out to at least 20 feet.
Yeah,
so and that's perfect. That's what they're used to having.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely an upgrade from even like when Zaza Pachulia was there. So
your sound. Oh, there the sound cut out for me.
Oh, there you go, man. I was saying that's definitely an upgrade over what they had with Zaza Pachulia.
Oh, Zaza deep shot. I can't stand that dude, man. He cost the Spurs the title.
Yeah,
cost the Spurs the title, bro.
He did.
He made Kawhi roll that ankle, bro, and that was it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be very interesting, but Golden State definitely has a bright future. I think the way they set themselves up to transition post Clay and Steph is actually remarkable to me. So I think they're gonna be fine for years to come anyway. But I definitely have them coming out the West. But let's jump over to the East real quick.
East side, baby.
Yes, sir. What do you think is going on with that matchup tonight?
I'm already started off the rip. I'm saying this is going 7 games.
7 games.
I personally believe this is going 7 games. Okay. This is going to be a gritty series. It's going to be tough because you have Boston coming in pure finesse, a purely finesse team, high flyers that like to run and gun. And then you got Miami, slow, grind it out. So it's 2 opposing forces coming at each other. And I think it's going to be interesting. I could be wrong. I don't think there's going to be any blowouts in this series at all. I think every game is going to be tight. Mm-hmm. They're probably low hundreds each game, maybe late 90s score-wise. I don't see us getting 133 to 99. I don't see a game like that. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Jimmy Butler he's not an unsung hero anymore, and he's definitely not underrated anymore. I feel like people are really finally starting to appreciate him, that he's not just a defensive specialist, but he's also a bucket getter. Many times throughout the series in the last playoffs, the last couple of years that you've watched, Jimmy Butler, no matter what team he was on, he legit, and every commentator says it, puts the team on his back. Mm-hmm. He will go on a 12-0 run by himself just to get the team going again.
Right.
And then after he scores that 12, start hitting people. It's not like he gets to 12 and he just wants the ball. He gets to 12 and he's still hitting everybody in their spots, hitting Tyler Hero, hitting Duncan Robinson, hitting Gabe Vincent, hitting Bam, hitting PJ, hitting everybody. So I think that in and of itself, his leadership is what's going to keep this series close. And then Boston, obviously, Jason Tatum is turned into, I don't know what to call it, but he's ascended past all-star caliber as a player, and it was about time. He showed flashes of it last season, showed flashes of it before. You know, the I don't know if it was his rookie season when they went against the Cavs and he dunked on LeBron, and we saw him flex on Braun, and I was like, whoa,
yeah.
I was like, whoa, we might have some here.
Yeah.
Then he went at KD last season. I was like, no, he went at KD and Giannis this season in the playoffs, and he went at KD and was like, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I was like, he's not gonna do that to Giannis though. And then he did it to Giannis. I was like, why is nobody talking about this kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that he's gonna be something special for a very long time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he's gonna be the face of the NBA because there's not a lot of guys who can do that. It's just, you know, some guys just they put their head down and they get a bucket, they get the work. And he's looking like one of those guys, you know. And then you got JB. I like Jaylen Brown from when he got drafted, when he had the high top. I like the finesse.
Yeah.
You know, he came in, he was defensive specialist, but it was just like you just saw, like throughout the season, he got better mid-range, you know, stepping out to about 15 feet, 18 feet, 22, 25. Now he's pulling up from three with hands in his face like it's nothing. His ball handling has gotten significantly better. So he handles the rock. He can play the point if you need him to. His passing ability has improved tremendously. So that team is set up for success for a long time. And I think Danny Ainge did an amazing, Danny Ainge, when he was there, did an amazing job transitioning from the Paul Pierce era to this new group of kids that came in, whether it have been finessing Brooklyn to take Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett and getting all those draft picks that got you Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, all these dudes, then getting Kyrie from Cleveland, you unloaded Isaiah Thomas, which everybody hated at the time. They thought it was kind of messed up, and it is. But it was a business move at the end of the day. It was a chess move, not checkers. And listen, they got Kyrie. Kyrie was good for a year. Got him up out of there. He went to Brooklyn. They brought in Kemba. It was tough because Kemba was hurt. They easily pivoted. Now you got Brad Stevens in that role now, still doing those same things in the front office. And Boston will always be that kind of business as usual type of team. Boston has been one of those teams where, okay, they have 1 year where it's like, they don't make the playoffs, then they come right back. They get knocked out in the first round, Then, okay, now we're in the second round. Now we're in the conference finals again. Now we're back. Now we're headed to the NBA finals. Like that. That's how Boston has been for a very long time. Yeah. So I think this season, I don't want to go against Jimmy, but I think this season we're going to see Boston back in the NBA finals.
Yeah. I think, and I don't mean to smile like that, but I can't help it. Boston, I personally believe that this matchup, and I don't want to downplay Miami, right? But I think they got the harder matchups out the way already. You didn't duck Brooklyn like everybody else seemed to. You went at the champs. Took them 7, right? So I think those two matchups actually helped them prepare for what's to come with Miami and eventually in the finals, because of the fact that they're already tested. They didn't have any problems with that. Miami went against Atlanta and Philly. All due respect, those are not tough teams to face. As currently constructed, those are not tough teams to face.
True.
And Embiid was out for what, 2 games, I think, 2 or 3 games.
The first 2 games.
So, they were already in rhythm at that point, and he was already hurt. So, I'm not looking past Miami. Miami is going to be a very interesting team to face. I don't see it going past 6, and that, to me, that's even being generous, because I think they could get it done in 5. Truth be told, I think they could. A lot of people have talked about the matchup, the Eastern Conference Finals matchup in the bubble, Boston, Miami, right? That was a different team. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, Bam is just going to eat his way through, and do all this stuff." They didn't have Al Horford that year. Robert Williams wasn't even really much in the. He was playing, but he wasn't in the lineup like that. So you're really going against Daniel Tice. Bam is going to get what he wants against Daniel Tice. That's just, especially if he's like your primary, right? Like that's a given. I think that was Enes Kanter and Tristan Thompson that were on that team as well.
Yes.
So you can't really, you can't look at that matchup and say, oh, this is how it's gonna go because of these. Nah, those are two different teams. Two different teams.
Bam's also been a non-factor in the playoffs, man. Even against Atlanta, against Philly, he wasn't going to be. Once Embiid came back, he wasn't going to be any factor. Embiid,
right.
It was like nobody was down there with him once he came back. So
yeah. So now you have to face Robert Williams and you have to face Al Horford, and then you face Daniel Tice and Grant Williams, by the way. So it's a little tougher for them. I think that they haven't seen a defense like this in the playoffs. I put it like that. I think that the coaching matchup is going to be phenomenal, though, because I think Spo and Udoka are two of the best coaches in the league now. I really do believe that Udoka should have been coach of the year, to be completely honest. If you watch how Boston played this year, like no knock against Monty Williams, because I thought Monty Williams deserved it last year, but I think they gave it to him retroactively because of the fact that they had the best record in the league. Right? And to me, I like we have to come up with a different criteria for these awards, because these awards are very weird to call. But if you're looking at what it took to get Boston to this point from mid-season, like that's a turnaround that I think that a lot of people are kind of just like overlooking, and you have to actually get you guys to buy in at the end of the day.
True.
These guys were kind of looking like lost mid-season, right? And as soon as the calendar flipped, it was like there was a switch.
It just clicked.
It clicked.
I agree with you, honestly. I remember watching the first couple of games, like with the Knicks and the Celtics, and I was like, yo, Boston why do they look like that? Something's not right. They're turning the ball over. Marcus Smart is coming out. Oh, yeah, we just got to pass the ball more. Guys think they could go one-on-one and beat it. And he's just talking, and everybody on the team is just talking. And then as the season goes on a little bit, people are talking less.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, what? Like something just felt weird. And then they ripped off like 20 games straight. Yeah. Didn't they have Boston had like a 20-game winning streak at one point where they went from like 12th in the East up to as high as I think number 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dropped back down to like 4 or 5, I think that's where they finished off, 4 or 5, something in there.
Oh no,
so it was like
we were the second seed.
Second seed. But look, I've finished as high as 2. I think that Coach Udoka's attitude definitely changed the mindset of a lot of the players on the team. And I think what helped is having a lot of younger guys buy into that. You know what I'm saying? When you have a lot of vets on the team, sometimes vets are like, I've been here before. Like, you can't come in here. Like, this is your first job. Don't come in here thinking you're going to run things. But when you have kids, and, they're grown men at the end of the day, but when you have kids, essentially, they're very impressionable. And when you lead by example, when you show them, like, we're coming in, this is how we get to work. I want you guys to play like this. Well, coach, why do I have to change my game? I've been doing this and being successful. Yes, but if you add this wrinkle to your game, this will be team success, not just individual success. Exactly. And what you're seeing, Boston's transition from worrying about individual success to team success. There's no way Grant Williams has a 27-point game at the beginning of the season, shooting as many threes as he did, because it was more ISO ball.
Exactly. It was.
That's a direct correlation between ball movement and player movement. And that's buying into the system. So I definitely think he definitely deserved Coach of the Year. I don't think it should always go to the coach with the best record, because Steve Kerr should have won it 4 years in a row then. Exactly. And I don't think that's the case. I think there's more to it. I think when you do more with less, like I think Memphis's coach should have been in consideration for that. I think it should have been between those two, honestly, because you go, almost 30 games without your best player. and your team has a way above 500 record. What was it,
Yeah.
22-6 without him?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're beating the top teams in the West, top teams in the East.
Yeah.
That's a coaching job. That's
Yeah.
not just players. Players have to buy into a system. That's a system thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I agree. It's a different criteria, I think, than what the award is actually called. And they have to match the criteria with the actual award, because you can't say coach of the year just because you had the best record. That's I almost feel like these awards should be determined by um the either the top 75 that they voted as the top 75 of the league,
Ooh, that's spicy.
or
I like that.
just Hall of Famers, like strictly just Hall of Famers, because the money that guys are missing out on in terms of like missing out on MVP or most improved or whatever. Like again, Ja Morant should not have been considered most improved.
No, he shouldn't have been in that. There was no reason to vote for him in that.
No.
Why? He's been doing this since he got
Yeah.
in the league. Not new.
Yeah. And he was what, a number 1-2 pick, something like that. He was one of the
Second.
top second. So like you have that expectation on you already. Most improved is for guys that aren't looked in that top 10 to me, right? So I just don't see how like Jordan Poole didn't win that award.
Word.
Or Robert Williams didn't win that award statistically. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference to me.
Even RJ Barrett.
Barrett,
Jalen Brunson. There's so many guys who should have been considered that definitely weren't.
Yeah, and I think that there's a level of consideration that they need to have for these awards. They're not taking in. I don't want to see the media be able to determine who gets which award. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't feel right to me.
Well, I think they have like this voters association with these guys these people that they select. But I think these awards in and of itself is just so, I don't want to say fugazi. That's a nice word. I like that word.
That is a nice word.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you can't shout out who the MVP of the league is in the second round of the playoffs. Like, I just
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You shouting out awards at different points. Like, all right, Ja got his most improved during the first round. Cool. Then you shout out MVP during the second round. All right, coach of the year. You know what I'm saying? Mid-second round, headed towards the third round. Like, what's next, bro? You can't do stuff like that. You're gonna call out all NBA in the finals? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's certain awards that I think you should save until the end of the season. And the reason why I say that is because the regular season ends, but the real season begins in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there's a player who was outstanding throughout the regular season, that's amazing. But they don't make the playoffs. All right, now the guy who is the runner-up is in the playoffs and makes it to a conference finals and balls out throughout the entire conference finals. Why shouldn't that be considered?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, yes, we have a finals MVP, but there's no playoff MVP. So, like, what happened throughout the entirety of the playoffs then? You know what I'm saying? It's almost as if it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's just like if you break a record during the play-in, that doesn't count as a playoff game. It doesn't count as a regular season game.
Yeah, see, that play-in thing is weird to me because that should be considered playoffs. That's playoffs. Exactly. It's not regular season.
Exactly. It's not regular season. You're playing in to see who continues on in the playoffs. That's all it is. It's a sudden death elimination game, or games rather, depending on your positioning. You either play one or you play two, and you have to win. It's sudden death, but it's still a playoff. It's still a playoff because you're eliminated. If you lose, you're eliminated from playoff contention. That's what it says. You're eliminated from playoff contention. So that is the playoff, in my opinion. And that it's like I said, it's the same thing with these awards. They come up with all of these little funny things, these nuances to try to keep people engaged, but you're not explaining it properly. You're not breaking it down properly, and you're also not evolving the game properly. You're doing all the right things in terms of marketing, branding, doing all these things. But if that's the case, we have to evolve how we're doing it as well. You have to evolve the voting system for all-stars. You have to evolve the system for player award voting, coach award voting, team award voting. You have to evolve all these things. And I think that a big part of that is you save that shit for the end of the season, finals done, champion crown, finals MVP crown, and then you go, all right, this is the season's MVP because the season is not done until a champion is crowned. You can't shout out an MVP during the season.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care if
No,
it's
I
the
agree.
beginning, middle, or right before the playoffs start.
Yeah.
Save that shit. Finals done. Boom. All right. You want to give Jokic the MVP because you feel like even though he got eliminated in the first round, he still balled out, which he did.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Or you wanted to give it to Joel Embiid because you know what? He went a little bit further than Jokic did, and he also balled out. All right, cool. I respect that. You want to give it to Giannis because Giannis is just Giannis and he does what he does. Cool. I get it. But you cannot people pick and choose.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like anything in life. People pick and choose what they want to consider in certain things.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, the playoffs don't matter here, but then we talk about another portion of it. Well, they did this, and this in the playoffs. Well, if that's the case, why aren't we considering that as part of this voting then?
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
for sure. For sure.
that's what it comes down to, man. People are too choosy.
For
Why
sure.
choosy? Let's have a set thing and let's go that way.
For
Either
sure.
it's the whole season or we do a regular season MVP, a playoff MVP, and a finals MVP. Now we have 3 MVP awards. Let's do it that way then.
See,
Why not?
I'm with that. I'm with that because I think like you can have a regular season MVP. And if you want to talk about the regular season MVP, to me this year that was definitely Embiid. That was definitely Embiid, especially with what he had to go through. You don't have Ben Simmons. You like they go through this whole switch. You're not getting anything from Tobias Harris for a good chunk of the year. It's basically just him out there, and he carried that team up to, well, they were like, were they third or fourth seed, something like that.
Fourth seed, I gotta
Fourth
say.
seed. Like
Fourth or third, one of the two.
you can't do that and then not get considered MVP. You
It,
can't do that, and then he comes back in the playoffs in the second round and makes the series a little interesting. Like they wouldn't even won a game if he wasn't there.
oh no, that was gonna be a 4 game sweep because James Harden is
No,
doo doo.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's doo doo. Don't get me started.
Yeah,
He's doo-doo.
yeah. He got he definitely would have been swept. So like I think do the regular season, do the playoffs, do the finals, MVP. I like that format. I like that format. I would love that.
I think that'll be better because listen, Embiid, Jokic, the last 2 seasons they went back and forth. Let's just call it what it is. Embiid definitely was the most dominant big man in the league by
For sure.
far.
For sure.
I think Jokic was a better overall player just because of the different things he adds to the game. He essentially plays point guard for Denver.
Right.
He plays point guard. He's a better passer than a lot of point guards in the league. But not only that, he's rebounding and he's scoring. He's playing. His defense leaves a lot to be desired. But he also went through a lot over in Denver too. His number two, we don't know who his number two was because Jamal Murray is still recovering from his ACL tear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had every night it was a different dude who was stepping up. Now it's great, but some nights nobody else stepped up and it was just him.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I could understand why people, had to flip a coin essentially to pick between him and Embiid. I get that.
Yeah. No, it's to me, you're not wrong either way.
Yeah, you're not. It could have went either way. I think Embiid definitely deserved it this year, just because, like you said, all the extra stuff. Between the drama, all the drama in Philly alone, and he handled it like a champ. He wasn't doing his little childish, petty stuff that he's done in the past. He was very mature with his answers. He was like, "Listen, Ben is here. He's here. We want him here. Great." He's like, "But if a trade happens, we understand that's the business of the NBA, and we just wish him all the best." And he kept business as usual, status quo. And it didn't stop him from putting up 35 and 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I think he led the league in scoring this year. So
yeah,
how often do we hear about a big man doing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
He beat out LeBron this year for points for leading the league in scoring.
Yeah.
So listen, if he has another season like he did this year, next year, MVP is his. I don't see anybody else taking it. I just don't. And I think it's about time that a traditional center wins an MVP. I think it's deserved.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to end up doing, because they obviously need to revamp this. The way they're doing things right now is just not going to work. I think that it sucks, but I think you have to be open about how you're voting for it. To me, seating matters.
Yeah.
You know, that might not matter to a lot of people, but it matters to me. Like, it's almost like that tiebreaker type of thing, right? If you have
Yep.
two guys that are like making a strong case for the same award, you have to find something that's going to break that tie. Seating, or maybe who has a better percentage in a certain area, shooting, or you know, whatever that is, whatever that is. But to me, leading your team, because honestly, the East is more stacked to me, more stacked. So that's a tougher
It's changed. It's the
tougher
East has come
conference.
back.
Yeah, it's a tougher conference because you were talking about earlier about how Boston was going up and down, but it's because like everybody like 1 through 6, I think, maybe one
It was
through
all
seven,
close.
they were all like within a game or two of each other. So at any point, at any time, you could be the number one seed. Like we were number one and then dropped down to 4, just because of one loss. You know what I'm saying? So it was such a tight race that you have less room for error, the way you're able to play in the East, especially this year. So I thought Embiid had a stronger case for it, but you know, I hope they get everything correct, because now you have more awards coming out, right? Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, so awards. So those the finals, conference finals MVP awards. I think there was another one. I forget what the other one was called. But how do you feel about that? How, like, do you think that makes sense to award that, or do you just want to see it go to Finals MVP?
I think that that award is necessary. It kind of pushes it towards a participation award, but for example, let's see, let's see. Giannis overall last season was the Finals MVP by far,
Mm-hmm.
but Drew Holiday could have easily gotten a conference MVP because Drew Holiday kept Milwaukee in a lot of those games. Drew Holiday kept,
Yeah.
you know, or Chris Middleton. So it can go either way. I think that,
Okay. I see what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Because sometimes you can have the best player do all of this in the second round, but then in the next round they're gone. They're not there. And then they come back the
Yeah.
next round and then play, you know. So I don't
I
know,
didn't think
but
about it like that. I didn't think about it like that because I'm thinking about it like a participation award. I like
yeah,
when I saw that they announced that these awards come out,
that's what
I
I'm
don't.
saying. They said like, that's what I said. Our playoff MVP and the Finals MVP, and I think we call it we cut it right there because at
Yeah,
that point you're giving out awards just to give out awards, and then it doesn't. It takes away the uniqueness or the accolade. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
It takes away from, all right, I had to perform at such and such level to get this
Hmm.
award. Oh, now
Hmm.
this one got this award and he ain't do nothing. He got this award and he ain't do nothing. So,
Yeah,
you
because
know,
like honestly, when you're going through a player's resume, I personally don't think we're ever gonna say, "Oh, this is a 3-time Larry Bird winner, a Larry Bird
no,
trophy winner, or Magic Johnson." Like, you're not gonna call that. You're not gonna talk
no.
about that. You're talking about the regular season MVP, or you're talking about Finals MVP. Those are just the
That's
only
it.
two MVPs we talk about
No, you don't hear 3-time most improved player of the year. You don't hear
ever,
that.
ever. Like,
The
yeah,
most they
so
talk about is sixth man of the year. You
six
know, they'll be
man of
like,
the
all right,
year.
three
Yeah,
times sixth man of the year.
yeah,
Okay, but that's it. That's a different type of honor. You feel me?
yeah,
You can't.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I got most improved 3 years in a row, bro.
yeah,
You haven't improved yet. Like
yeah. Yeah,
you should be trying to get an MVP now at this point.
yeah. Because honestly, even with the 6-man award, like you can make an argument that's Grant Williams, right? That in the playoffs is a 6-man of the year award winner, right? Like you can make a case for that. Um,
Exactly.
so I don't know. I do agree. They should separate the regular season and playoffs because those are two different styles of play. They're
Yeah,
officiated different. They play different. It's not the same thing at all, at all.
exactly.
Because you're not talking about what Russell Westbrook averaging a triple double in the playoffs.
Exactly my point.
That's a
Exactly
that's
my point.
that makes a lot of sense. I'm with
That's
that.
what I said. Either you consider everything together and then
Yeah.
you crown an MVP after the finals have completed, or you separate the two. In which
Yeah.
case now we have a broader scope where, okay, you had the best regular season. Cool. Now we're starting from scratch for the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs. Who
Mm-hmm.
has the best playoffs?
Yeah. I like that. I like that. That would make it feel a lot better because I know a lot of people talked about defensive player of the year award, like it should have gone to Drew Holiday after that game 5 or game 6, no, game 5 steal at the end of the game. um Everybody said, oh yeah, now he's a defensive player of the year. Like you could say what you want in terms of the playoffs.
Exactly.
Want to consider Drew defensive player of the playoffs. Like, okay, I wouldn't even be mad at that. Personally, I wouldn't think that he would have won it, but
But he doesn't even get considered for defensive player in the regular season, which I think is
right,
crazy because
right,
he
right.
literally guards the best player on every. He's guarded LeBron before and done well against LeBron. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, it is what it is with that. But
Whew.
it's just like I said, man. Everybody has their own criteria for everything.
Yeah,
So I'm not saying we should break it up and it should be like, an award for this, an award for this, an award for this, an award for this. No, you have regular season MVP, playoff MVP, finals MVP. That's it. I think right there, those that MVP trophy, it should only be three of those. It
yeah.
should be only three. You have your best player, best performer in the finals.
Mm-hmm,
Cool. That's set in stone. We already have that. You have your
mm-hmm.
regular season most outstanding player or most valuable player, whatever. I think they need to revamp that name a little bit, I guess.
They
And
do.
then you have your playoff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I, I think that's it right there. Most improved, you keep that regular season. Six
yeah.
man of the year, you keep that regular season. Defensive player of the year, you keep that regular season. Coach of the year, regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you do that now you're starting to take away from the other stuff. That's why I just said
Yes,
most valuable is something that you can consider in all three phases of the season.
I'm
But
with
all
that.
those other awards you can't. You can't.
I'm
You
with
just
that.
can't.
I'm with that. I like that idea. I like that idea. That makes a lot more sense to me. See, we keep coming up with these great ideas on this show, and
Somebody got
as
to reach
we
out to Steve Adam Silver.
it's gonna be a time for, yeah, they're gonna have to come and talk to us at some point because we've I think in the last 2 or 3 months we've already revamped a lot of things, a lot of issues in the NBA and I think the NFL as well. So yeah, and UFC honestly. So yeah, they should come and talk to us. But yeah, man. So let's get a quick rundown. So you said Boston Boston is 7, right?
Said Boston 7, Golden State 6.
Going to say 6. So the finals. What's your quick prediction, real quick?
Ooh. Mm. I'm gonna say Boston 6 just because I'm tired of Golden State. Tired of Golden State.
I feel
Tired of
that.
them.
I feel
I'm
that.
over them. I'm cool. They had the little run. All right, it's the 2020s, bro. Sit down. That's it. Sit down. We good.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I actually have Boston in 7, just because I think Steph is just Steph and Clay. I'm assuming, excuse me, I'm assuming that game 6 Clay that we saw against Memphis
Mhm.
will appear again.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I between that and officiating, I'm assuming it will make it a longer series. So I'm gonna say Boston in 7, but this just feels
Well,
like Boston's year to me.
yeah. If not Boston, Miami. And like I said, either way, I just don't want Golden State to
I
win. I
see.
just don't want Golden State to win. I
people
just don't.
people people might feel I'm a little harsh. I feel like Miami is a little overrated, slightly overrated, and
I can see that.
it's not because I don't like them. I actually like the team. I love Coach Spo. I think that what they've been doing is phenomenal. but I think that it's a little skewed. I think you know they got that one seed because 2 through 4 were they were going through their little issues at certain points of the season, and they took advantage, which as you should, right? You should be able to do that. Which locked in that number one seed, and it is what it is. I just don't think that they are the best team in the conference.
I don't think they're the best team in the conference at all. I don't think they're the best team in the conference. I think they're run the best or second best, or like tied for the best with Boston. I think that's what it is. I think system-wise, they have a system that they stick to, and they do that better than other teams. That's what I think. I don't think it's... My bad.
Oh, good, man.
But I think systematically, I think that's what it is for them. They know what they do well, and they don't get away from it like most teams. And I think that's why they're still standing. It has nothing to do with them being better. They just do what they do better than most other teams do. Mm-hmm. Philly is I guess, a pick and roll team. I guess they don't really have shooting to speak of right now, or their shooters aren't consistent. Miami was like, okay, well, we're just going to be physical with y'all. We're going to keep you out at the 3-point line. And if you come in the paint, we're just going to foul the hell out of you and make you make free throws.
Right.
That's pretty much it. James Harden was a non-factor. PJ Tucker made sure of that.
Yeah.
I mean, James Harden made himself a non-factor, but we could do another video on that later. I could talk for 2 hours. Listen, I got a lot in the tank for James Harden, man.
Yeah.
And Philly give him that 250. If Philly give him that 250, boy.
Yo.
Philly give him that 250.
I was reading something yesterday that said that Daryl Morey has a plan to get another superstar in Philly, but it requires James to take a pay cut.
Like, he's not taking a pay cut.
He's not taking a pay cut. So
he's gonna opt into his player option so he could get his $47 million next year.
Yeah,
and then he's gonna get a max contract somewhere else. He's not. If he does not get a max contract, he is leaving. He's going to. He's going to leave.
But who is paying him max?
Anybody, any team who's suffering right now would love to have a dude like James Harden just to fill seats in their arena.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's true. But you're not winning anything.
Go out there and get, no contender's going to go out there and get him and think he's going to be an integral part of their team and give him a max. Hell no. Like a Golden State would pick him up. Yeah, you come off the bench. We'll give you 2 years, 60-something million. Mm-hmm. Yeah, come off the bench just like you used to. You'll be the 8th man, though. Jordan Poole's 6th man.
Yeah,
no 6th man of the year for you. Like that's what it would be. And that would be the perfect role for him. He does not need to be the focal point of an offense anymore. I'm sorry.
Nah, I was just telling someone yesterday. He wants the accolades of a number 1 option with the responsibility of a number 4 to 5 option. He doesn't want to take on, from what it looks like. I can't speak for James, but from what it looks like outside looking in, it seems as if he doesn't want that.
He wants the money.
He wants the
accolades.
Yeah,
but he doesn't want to put in the work. At least that's what it looked like from the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Outside looking in, you show up out of shape. You're causing dissension amongst your teammates. You're lying to the staff, saying you don't want to trade. Then you wait till the last minute, ask for a trade. Bro, listen. Yeah. Show up, do your job. If you want, let them know, hey, listen, I want to be traded, but I'm going to show up every day and do what I got to do. Mm-hmm. Fine. Respectful. I can understand that. I can respect that. But when you come in and you're taking 4 shots a game, or you're scoring 4 points against one of the worst teams in the league before you get traded, or you're taking 2 shots in the second half of a closeout game, and your excuse is, oh, well, the offense was to move the ball around and it just didn't get back to me, or it didn't come back to me, or are there any plays run for you? Next question. Bro, stop trying to blame other people. Mm-hmm. You got to do the work too. I'm a firm believer in how you practice and how you play. And for the last 3 years, his practice has been very shitty. Yeah. You're practicing bad things. Yeah. So you coming out of shape, you mess up your hamstring. That's something you can't fix. That's something that has to heal over time. Mm-hmm. Your hamstring is connected to your quads, knees, all of that. It's all so essentially he has one leg right now. Yeah. That's why he doesn't have that first step anymore. Yeah. It is what it is. He'll give you a burst every couple of games or so. But dude, he's washed at this point. Now, if he drops 15, 20 pounds next season, he comes out like lightning in a bottle, I'll shut the hell up. But I need to see you do it in a big game.
Yeah.
Because the last 5 years, 5, 6 years, when it's that big, big moment, he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super MIA.
It sucks too, because you like someone with that type of talent, you should be able to win with. But Kobe said it himself. You can't win a championship playing like that. Nope. Especially as a number one option. You can't, it just doesn't work. And I think one of the biggest things that we saw with Harden this year is the fact that that rule change messed him up. It messed him up, and it messed Trae Young up, because you're not able to take advantage of what you could take advantage of before. So he still has those times where you can see it's a flash here, flash there, but it's not the same as it was. No. especially when he was in Houston or OKC. It's just not the same thing.
No,
it's not the same thing.
I've said it for a while. I think his stats are inflated. Yes, he has his MVP. You can't take that away. It's already been awarded. It's in the history books. I think his stats are inflated. It's easy to average 30 for a season if you're taking 20 free throws a game. It's easy to average 30 a game if you're taking 25 to 30 free throws a game. But a lot of those games where you see the 40s, the 50s, look at the field goal percentage. 13 of 35, something like that. Like it'd be like really bad numbers shooting wise. It'd be like sub 43%.
Yeah.
But hey, 19 out of 22 from the free throw line though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people don't see that. And I think that's what it is. Listen, he got his money. Respect. I get that. Listen, it's not for me to tell anybody they don't deserve money. Do I think certain teams should pay certain players a certain amount? No. But that's why I don't have that job.
Yeah.
If I had it my way, there's a lot of people who wouldn't have got paid. I'd keep it a stack with you.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think we're seeing the decline of James Harden unfold right before our eyes. I think that probably between the next 2 to 5 years, James Harden is out of the league. That's just my opinion.
Wow. Yeah. That's not hard to see. I mean, he's like what, 32, 33?
Something like that.
Like, that's hard to imagine that, if you see guys like Kobe, LeBron, that as they got older, they adjusted their game to where they are, right? Like, the older you get, you can't do some of the things that you could do 5-8 years prior, right? So he's just not adjusted his game. He's always been on this plane where it's just like, I'm gonna keep doing it like this. And when other things adjust and you don't adjust with them, you gotta change with the times. And that includes playing within the rules. So if you're able to get to the line as much as you were before, you should figure out a different way to be able to get to the line, if that's your strong suit. And he's not able to adjust to that. So I think that max makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I think he still could get close to it, with some.
I would give him a 3-year deal at most, and the third year is a team option.
Yeah, it should be a team option. I think
he does not get a player option with this next contract, and he definitely doesn't get a no trade clause.
There are 3 players that I could tell you that I feel like that strongly about right now. Is Harden, Simmons, and Irving. Those are the 3 that I don't that I will say the exact same thing about.
My head almost exploded when you said that, bro. yo, I don't know what's going on with Kyrie. I respect the brother. I understand his spirituality and his views on the world and stuff like that, and I respect that. But purely basketball, that dude is amazing, and
one of the best. If you're talking about strictly how he plays,
yeah, one of the best to ever do it. Literally,
one of the best.
And I'm one of those people where you count your blessings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You appreciate your blessings. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's been blessed with that's God given ability, bro. Like
It
there's
is.
things that he does that no matter how much you practice, you just can't. Nobody else can emulate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he's choosing his views over that. And once again, I respect that. It's not for me to say whether his view is right or wrong, but I just feel like he's wasting it.
Mm-hmm.
All the time in the last 3 years where he's been away from the court due to non-injury related things. Once again, I understand his views. I'm not going to tell him he's wrong. I have my views on certain things, but it's just you're wasting your talent. You're not showcasing it, and your talent is why you're in the position that you're in now
Mm-hmm.
financially. Your talent is why you're in the position you are as far as notoriety and celebrity, and you can do these things and people pay attention to you. And you've got yourself in the spotlight. And now that you're in the spotlight, you're realizing, yo, I don't want to be in the spotlight anymore. Let me try to remove myself from it. But all you're doing is bringing more attention to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If he kept it strictly basketball, yo, just pull a KD. Oh man, I just want to hoop. Leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
People think that they have to prove why they're right with certain things. And I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the case. You
Yeah.
can have your view. I have my views. I don't go around trying to beat people over the head with it. You have your views. I have mine. We don't have to agree. We don't. Just
Yeah.
know you're not going to change my mind, and I'm not going to try to change yours. I'm
Yeah.
going to go about it business as usual, though. And I think if he went about it as a more business as usual sense, I think Brooklyn would have been in a lot better position this season.
Oh, for sure.
Ben
They wouldn't
Simmons,
even they wouldn't even face Boston in the first round.
no, they wouldn't have been in the play-in.
No. No.
Business as usual. I think James Harden wants to stay in Brooklyn. I don't know. It's possible. Um, Ben Simmons, on the other hand, I don't know, man. Like, I hope we see him play. I hope that he changes his game, becomes a more willing shooter. I hope that whatever he's going through mentally, he's able to overcome that and rebuild that mental strength. Because listen, yeah, he's playing a kid's game at the end of the day, but there's a lot that goes into it.
Oh yeah. 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 For sure.
Early morning workouts, late evening workouts, strict diets, following strict guidelines. You can't do certain things. I get all of that. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So I just hope whatever it is that he's able to navigate through those murky waters and he's able to come out on top. But in terms of contract wise, he would never get a player option. He would never get a no trade clause ever.
No. No.
Ever.
No. I think he and I'm pretty sure I said this on the show a couple months back. I think it was like 2 months back. Chris and I were talking about this, and I think personally, I could be wrong, but I personally believe we've seen the best of Ben Simmons. I think
Mm.
I think he has peaked in terms of like how great he's going to be in this game. His potential is more than what we've seen, right? But you have to there's another level of dedication you have to reach that potential, and I don't think we're going to see that from him. I personally I don't think we're going to see it. I think the mental aspect of it is definitely an issue. And much respect to him in that, because I like that's not something that you joke around about. But Jalen Rose made a good point a couple weeks back. He said, if he was going through all these back issues as he was going into Brooklyn, how did he pass a physical? Because you have to pass a physical to
For a trade to go
for the
through.
trade to go through. So it's not for me to say that he doesn't have any back issues. You can't tell what that is, but I, personally, I just think we've seen the best of him, because I don't think that his level, there's a certain level of dedication that you have to be able to reach your potential or surpass your potential. And that dedication, I don't see that. When you were last on, I asked you, should he switch positions to get the best out of him? And
I agree. I think so.
that it makes the most sense, right? I don't think we're going to see that though.
No, it's already been ingrained in him. he has too many yes people behind him.
Yeah.
Nobody's willing to push him, and I think that's the downfall of a lot of these guys who have limitless potential but limited work ethic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Limitless potential, limited work ethic.
Yeah.
What is your dedication level? I think guys suffer from that. Guys have been starstruck by their own talent and ability, being surrounded by people saying, yo, at 12 years old, you're the best, you're this. They can't do this with you. You don't even have to do this. Yo, in high school or college, he was asked, why aren't you shooting? He was like, well, I've always been bigger than everybody, so I never needed to shoot. Yo, somebody had to tell him that. You don't just think that as a kid.
Yeah.
That's something somebody told you over and over. Ben, I don't want you shooting. Just get in the post.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact my son was playing basketball a few weeks ago. He played in the league, his first league ever. He's 9. He scores a lot of points off of putbacks, gets a lot of offensive rebounds, puts it right back up. And I said, it's okay. I was like, listen, I know it's easy for you to score there. I said, shoot a 3. I was like, you don't have to shoot them all the time. Just shoot a 3. He ran on a fast break. He heard the whole crowd counting down from 10, and he stopped the shot at 3. I was like, okay.
Nice.
He was like, was that a bad shot? I said, no. I said, because you're shooting it. You make people have to guard you out there. That way it's even easier for you to get back in the paint.
Yeah.
You have to hit. So that's something that's a learned behavior. Yeah. He thought he had to stay in the paint. I said, no, you don't. Shoot a mid-range. Yeah. My son is 9 years old and can shoot from the 3-point line and hit the rim on a 10-foot rim.
Yeah.
Bro, shoot that thing.
Yeah.
I don't care if you miss.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how you get better.
You have to change your mindset. You should be able to kill at every step. 3-level scorer. That's what we talk about now with these kids coming into the league. Being a 3-level scorer. Ben Simmons is a 1-level scorer. But he's an all-star. He's this. He's supposed to be the next LeBron. He's a 1-level scorer. How?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How? And like you said, he's peaked. And think about it. If these back issues are real, and once again, it's not for us to say if it's real or not. He has had surgery on his back. So obviously there's something there now. We don't know about before. But now there's something wrong with the back. Okay. 3 to 4 months. Dude, do you know how hard it is to come back from back issues?
We saw that with Dwight Howard.
Yes. Dwight is not, yes, he's still athletic and stuff, but Dwight isn't the same guy we saw in Orlando.
Yeah.
And not even the early part of Orlando, when Orlando went to the finals against the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't seen that Dwight Howard. After that finals against the Lakers, we haven't seen that Dwight Howard ever again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what people are expecting from Ben Simmons, but like you said, the idea of him changing position. If he went to power forward now, people are going to expect less out of you. You could hit your post hook, whatever, stay down in the paint, pick and roll. You could get the ball out on the wing. You're a good passer. You can make great plays. You can dribble the ball. You can get back into the paint. That's as far as it should go. I don't think he should play point guard anymore. But
shouldn't.
Don't forget, there are people who get paid way more money than I do to think different. But those people end up losing their jobs after 2 years. So go figure. I can't always be wrong. I got to be right about something.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's going to be an interesting time to see what happens this offseason for a couple of these teams. But I think I'm excited, man, because this is, to me, this has probably been the most intriguing playoffs from the first round that I can remember. I don't remember it being intrigued like this from the start.
I've been locked into every series.
It seems like this is the first one that's been like that for a while, because it used to feel like, okay, second round I can get locked in. First round I can miss a couple of games or whatever, and just whatever. I just catch up on highlights. But second round seemed to be like, okay, now I'll go ahead and get into it. This year has seemed, this one from the beginning seems to have been one that's been intriguing from game one of the round one.
Definitely. The worst 2 series in this playoffs were Miami, Atlanta, and Milwaukee, Chicago.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 worst series in the playoffs. Yeah. And after that, everything has been amazing.
Yeah.
Phoenix, New Orleans was amazing. Dallas, Utah was amazing. Memphis, Minnesota was okay. It went to 6, I think.
It was a nice highlight narrative type of thing. Yeah.
Golden State, I forgot who Golden State played in the first round.
Who did they play?
Damn, who did they play?
I don't even know. I almost feel like they want to buy. That's right. That's
Denver.
right. Yo, I forgot Denver was even in it, man. Yeah,
Is this
yeah,
your king?
yeah.
Um, but that was a pretty good series just in terms of performances by star
Yeah,
players.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I just like the idea of parity coming back to the league, man.
Mhm.
The teams that have been really successful have been the teams that are, building,
Right,
not
right,
adding
right,
superstar talent. It's just these are guys we drafted and we're building them up.
right.
I think going forward for years to come, you're gonna, at least for this generation of guys
Mhm.
coming into the league, we're not gonna see the super team anymore because there's no standout guys like that in the league. None of these young guys, I feel, if you put them all together in a team as a championship team off rip, I don't.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I don't know, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting. I want to see what happens in Portland. That team literally has a whole bunch of kids up there. I want to see. I know Dame is doing the whole loyalty thing, but I don't know. Maybe Portland decides to let Dame go. Hey, listen, Dame, we love you. We appreciate everything you did for us, but you go out there and win a championship. You tell us what team you want to go to, or
yeah,
Dame asked for a trade. He's tired of it out there. We don't know. Utah. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell just signed that contract extension, but he may go, you know what, keep Rudy. I don't even want to be here anymore. I don't like this city.
yeah,
These young guys, man, they're bringing that era of toughness back, like the whole job thing. Yo, I love Ja just because he's a dog, bro. He don't care about
yeah,
anybody. He just goes in and plays.
yeah,
We're starting to see that. Trey Young, I can't stand him. But
yeah,
yo, Trey Young comes in, he don't care who's guarding him. I'm
yeah,
disrespecting everybody. I love that. I wanted to get to a point where there's no more friends in the NBA. You could be friends off the court. I'm tired of seeing friendships on the court, man. I want
yeah,
dudes to compete. I've played against some of my closest friends, and those are some of the most heated. One of my best friends, I love him as if my mother gave birth to him, my boy Irv. Anytime we play one on one, yo, we talk to each other as if we hate each other, bro.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then after that, we'll go get a beer like nothing happened.
It's all love.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
what I want to see. I want
yeah,
to see dudes trying to kill each other, man. I'm not literally, not in the
yeah,
literal sense, but I want to I want to see dudes actually defend each other. I want
yeah,
to see dudes actually try to score on each other. I'm tired of dudes just letting dudes go by and score. Nah, your team needs to win this game. I don't care if that's your boy. Play
yeah.
straight up defense. If you got to foul him. Be
Mm-hmm.
physical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think we're getting back into that.
Don't try and hurt him in his
Nah,
career, but play tough.
be
That's
physical.
that's that's the one thing that I loved about Ime coming to Boston because he got Jason Tatum out of that. Because if Brad Stevens was still the coach, I don't know that Boston would have swept Brooklyn
No.
because he had Tatum loves Kyrie, right? And even started having a love for KD. And it was like this switch from Brad to Ime when as soon as Ime came
It's
in,
the
he was like,
attitude.
yo, these are not, you cannot be friends on the court. Go at it. Go at it. And since he came in with that message, boom, like it was just a different Tatum coming into the league.
No,
So
it's funny. There's a video of Bradley Beal. He's talking to one of his AAU teams,
mm-hmm,
and it's kids. I don't know how many years ago it was. It was a couple years ago,
mm-hmm,
and he was talking to them. He was like, "Listen, you guys got to work hard. You got to work hard. Blah blah blah." He goes, "You guys don't want to go to the league, right?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "All right." He said, "If you're not killing them, when you get to the league, think about it. You got to go against me." He
mm-hmm.
said, "There's only a certain amount of jobs in the league." He said, "I'll be damned if I'm letting you take your." He's like, "You're not taking my job."
I do remember that video. Yeah. Yeah.
So, bro, that's the mentality
Yeah.
I want to see these dudes with. I don't think these dudes have that mentality anymore, man.
Yeah. No, I do like the new crop coming in that's showcasing that because it makes the game feel more intense. Like we can be buddy buddy when
Yeah, we can hit
the
the club
time is
after the
off,
game.
you know.
After that final buzzer sound, we can hit the club.
Yeah.
We can talk about the game. Yeah. Oh, yo, I hit you with that move. You wasn't seeing. Cool. We could do all
Yeah.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the game, now you're not my best friend. I don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I treat you
Which
like you robbed me.
I think Jaren Jackson did that to Jordan Poole in that elimination game against Golden State. I think Jordan was trying to go for a dap or something like that because I think they were like roommates or something, and he was like, brushed him off like, nah, this ain't that. And I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect that. You know.
I don't get mad at people who don't shake hands.
Yeah.
I don't. Yo, me, I shake hands with everybody. Win, lose, draw, whatever. I shake hands. That's just how I was brought up. That's how I've
Oh, but
always
this is
been.
during the game
But
though.
not during the game. Oh no.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
handshake. No, after the game. After the
Yeah,
game, I dap you up all day. During the game, don't touch me.
yeah,
Don't talk to me.
yeah,
I was just in the league. I had my teammates. They was talking to kids on the other team. I'm like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
yeah,
Oh, that's my boy. Yo, no, your boy's is over here in the same jersey as you. What are you talking to him for?
yeah,
Save that for after the game.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's just you know what I'm saying. I'm one of those dudes, man. I'm a
Old
hard hat
school.
kind of guy. I get my lunch box and I go to work, bro.
Yeah,
I'm young as hell, but I like that old school mentality when it comes to sports, man. Because
yeah.
listen, once you bring friends into it, I feel like you lose that intensity.
But you also weaken yourself, right? Like you expose something that they can take apart,
Yep.
right? They can go at that because they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna lay off. I'm not laying off, man.
No,
Not laying off. Can't lay off.
I'm keeping my gas on. I'm keeping my foot on the gas.
Yeah, yeah. Because we all trying to eat. Like that's the mentality, and I like that portion coming back into the league. I
Yes.
like that. That's a dynamic feeling to even feel again, because it felt like that was gone for God. That was
At least 10 years.
at least
From 2010 to 2020, that's what it felt like.
yeah, at least because it seemed like Kobe and Garnett were like the last of excuse me
Yes.
of that breed of players that were like that, and since they retired, yeah,
It was that whole Heat era where you had
yeah,
the what was it, the 4 years of the Heat, and it was
mm-hmm.
like, okay, everybody's buddy, cool, and then LeBron goes back to Cleveland, and everybody's buddy, everybody's trying to team up with Golden State, everybody trying to team up with the Cavs, and it's like, all right, buddy, and then all right, we get to the point where LeBron leaves the Cavs. Had LeBron stayed in the East, I think we would have still saw that brand of basketball where everybody's trying to be buddy, team up with
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, we can win. But by him going to the West, I think that caused a seismic shift in in that in the NBA
Mm-hmm.
because now he came to a more tougher conference,
Mm-hmm.
and from that, dealing with the likes of Golden State on a regular basis now, dealing with the Clippers on a regular basis, dealing with the Suns on a regular basis, dealing with the Mavs on a regular basis. You got to think about it. In the East, he's dealing with the Magic. He's dealing with Chicago when Chicago was bad. Dealing with the Knicks. Dealing
Pacers,
with Atlanta when they were bad. Who else?
Pacers.
Toronto Pacers. I forgot they were there.
Yeah, no, right.
Toronto after Kawhi left. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's what he was dealing with. The
yeah,
Wizards, those are the teams that he was dealing with. To
yeah.
now go to, all right, every other team you're playing is a playoff contender.
No,
And
I
now
completely
dudes are
agree.
like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm everybody's coming over to the West. Yo, bro, the East is looking kind of easy right now. So now you see everybody start to run over to the East. Now there's parity in the East. Every dudes who ran to the East some of them come back to the West. Like, all right, now it's a balance now. So now
yeah,
we're seeing the competition level come back in the NBA, and everybody's competing. So now 1 through 8 is actually competitive,
yeah.
and I love it.
It's
I
amazing.
love it, bro.
It's amazing. I've wanted that for so long, but now that it's here, it feels even better. This feels so
Yo,
sweet.
it's tangible.
Yeah,
It's tangible,
yeah, yeah.
and I hope it stays for a while, bro. I hope it
I
stays for
think
a
it
while.
is. I think this is how we're gonna have it for a long time. I think it is because you got a lot of guys that like to talk, especially with social media being in play. And you got guys that just don't like each other like, at all. Like especially what we saw with Patrick Beverly. Um, like I'm expecting that brand of ball to be here for a minute because it makes sense. It makes sense. You know, you can show love after the game. Giannis did it when the Celtics knocked them out 7 games. Um, Drew Holiday did it. We got beat. Show love. You
That's
know,
it.
that's it. That's it. But it can't be that buddy during the game. I don't like that. I don't like that. You can show respect, but That's like
That's as far as it goes.
that's on a dead ball. I'm not showing you respect when playing
Not
dead
even a
ball.
dead ball, bro. I bro, sometimes I help people up, bro. Sometimes I leave them
Oh
alone.
no,
Dead
I'm
ass.
not helping anyone up. If you're not on my team, I'm
Bro,
not helping you
if I
up.
bro, if I
No.
fall, I get up by myself. I don't even want my teammates to help me up, bro.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
don't touch
yeah,
me. Don't,
yeah,
nobody touch me, man. And I'll
yeah.
get up on my own. Shit. No, we're not friends. We on the same team. No, we're not friends. Leave me alone, goddamn it. I'm gonna get up
Yeah,
on my own.
yeah. It's that warrior mentality. So I love that. I love that. I'm glad that it's here. But yeah, man, let's go ahead. I think that's probably the end of the show. But appreciate you for coming back on, man. Please tell everybody where they can find you, man.
Oh, most definitely. You can find me at Shaqs_corner on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. Please feel free to like, follow, subscribe to anything. I do a lot of basketball talk, obviously. I do it
Yeah.
with the Sideline guys as well.
So
I'm working on a series currently. It's not a docu-series, I don't want to call it that, but I'm working on a series called The Last Raiders right now. It's a very big project near and dear to my heart, where we revisit my high school, Rice High School. It closed, unfortunately, in 2011 when I graduated. But I'm just trying to give people a little bit about the history. You know, it's a school in the center of Harlem. We have a lot of big names who went there for basketball: Kemba Walker, Felipe Lopez, Andre Barrett, Russell Robinson, Edgar Sosa. A lot of those guys who you've probably heard of from playing overseas or playing in the league, or big college performances. And that's just a small sample size of guys
right.
who attended the school. But this part of this series is actually visiting the non-athletes, those guys. So I got 4 episodes up right now. So if you guys get a chance, like I said, Shaqs_corner, no apostrophe. Just go ahead and check it out. Like I said, like, comment, give me your feedback, guys. Any and everything's appreciated.
Dope, man. Yeah, and if you want to follow me, it's Derrick_OTS, DERRICK, black way to spell it. But most importantly, follow the brand OTS Media Co. All social media platforms, otsmediaco.com. You can check out all of the shows we have on the platform. But please rate, review, let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys want to see. We are expanding the show a little bit, so you will be seeing Shaq on here a lot more. And we have Damien, who, if you guys watched the last episode, he's gonna be helping expand the show out as well. So we're gonna bring you guys a little more content throughout the week, and especially heading into the NFL season. So
Definitely.
yeah, definitely want you guys to engage with us and let us know what you guys think, because we are building and cultivating something that's great here, and everybody's got their own thing going on, and we're bringing it all together and bringing it to you guys. So please check it out. Thank you for watching and or listening, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.